Lance Hall here for Let's Discuss with Lance Hall. Happy to welcome, and I'm going to let her introduce herself because she says her name a lot better than I do.
Hi, Lance. My name is Guernica. I'm the singer from Thundermother.
There we go. I don't think I could quite get the roll and the pronunciation like that, but that is wonderful. I love that. How did you get your name?
Well, I'm actually named after a Picasso painting, so I'm pretty sure I'm the only one with this first name because it's a pretty dark painting. It's an anti-war painting, but the actual painting is like a massacre, so
Okay.
it's pretty dark.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I listened to the album last night. We're here to talk about the new Thundermother album coming out. It is coming out, what is it, July 31st, called Heatwave on AFM Records. And that is anything but dark. That is a great up-tempo, killer rock and roll album. Congratulations. You guys got to be anxious to get this out.
Yes, we are, and we're super. Thank you, by the way, for those kind words. Yeah, we're super excited. I mean, we couldn't be happier with the result, and I mean, we can't wait to share this album with the world.
Yeah. Now, this is the second album you've done with the new lineup, correct?
That is correct.
Now, did you find a lot of times, even though Thundermother has been around for a while with a fairly new lineup, the first album comes easily, and then the second album is a little bit harder. Was that the case with this, or did it all come easy?
I would say it was, I don't know, easy might not be the right word, but it was pretty easy for us because, I mean, I'm part of the new lineup. I joined the band 3 years ago, and the
Sure.
only original member is Philippe, our guitar player.
Right.
And during this time, we've been touring so much together that we've become like a real solid unit. So it just felt natural to actually create together as well, because we're constantly together on the road and blah, blah, blah. So the writing process is something that we all enjoy doing. And it was really nice to actually get to do it all together for once.
So there's a comfort level that's been established there now.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely. Yes.
You worked with Soren Anderson, produced and recorded in his studio. Is this the first time you had worked with him?
Well, I mean, recording a full album, yes, that was the first time having him be our producer, but we started writing songs with him last year, and that's where we became good friends, and I don't know, we just got along really well, and we wrote 6 songs together with him. So after that, we were just like, we need him to produce this album. He knows exactly what we want, and he's just amazing. He just brings out the best in all of us.
And he's worked with some killer artists in the past, Glenn Hughes, Mike Tramp, among others. He must have had some fantastic stories.
He does. Yeah, he does, actually.
Good stuff. I want to talk about the website, www.thundermother.com, which is very cool. I got all kinds of info on that. And then the other one I wanted to pass along was the emp.de, where you guys have some vinyl. The pre-orders are up, box sets, and all that stuff. I looked at that. That was some pretty cool stuff as well.
Yeah, did you see the vinyl that's with the yellow color?
Yeah, the yellow splatter type thing.
Yeah, it looks super nice.
Yeah. I want to jump a little bit into this album. I made notes on a few songs, 13 tracks, so this is definitely a very full length, which is must have definitely wanted to go with a full length album as opposed to like an EP singles. It was important for you guys to get out the full length.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's kind of like the industry is still kind of behind on that point. I mean, I think EPs are great. But if you want to get reviews and, really get out there, you need to have a full-length album still.
And
plus, we wrote so many songs that it was actually really hard to narrow it down to 13 songs.
Wow.
Because we spent all 2019 preparing for the album, and we had like 30 songs to choose from. So, I mean, 13 songs it doesn't feel that much,
Yeah. And it shows some diversity as well. You had some very different sounding songs. So, Loud and Alive is the album opener. I've got Ass Kicking opener. Did you pay attention to sequencing how the album flowed and stuff? Was that important to you?
That's always super important. we had many discussions regarding the order of the songs, but I think we did a good job.
Yeah,
It's you know,
it had a
it's
nice
good.
flow. That was definitely a good, just grab you by the throat opener. Um, the next track I had made a note on was Into the Mud. I've got Hot Damn. That one just really kicked ass. And I love the
Yeah.
backing vocals. Obviously, everybody sings, right? I love the way the backing vocals were captured on this entire album.
Well, thank you. Yeah, the girls, they're really great singers, all of them, and it's so much fun too because I don't know. I love. I mean, yes, I am the lead singer, blah blah, but I don't mind sharing the mic at all, and I think it's great to hear them sing, and it's nice to have everyone involved in everything, you know.
Right. And it must help you out live as well to have somebody backing you up, so that the entire pressure isn't on you to carry the whole vocal performance live as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we kind of like 2 years ago, I had problems with my vocal cords,
Hmm.
and so we had to lower some songs, and then some songs I actually asked Filippa to sing for me, and it actually just added to the show. It just I don't know, it was just like a fun add-on. It didn't really I don't the audience didn't mind at all, and I thought it was a really cool way to like you know, get through that whole process of like getting back and like my vocal cords getting healing and
Sure. Sure. And it's good to have different voices and stuff chime in. I mean, I will never forget the first time I saw Kiss on the reunion tour where Ace actually sang a couple of lines of Shout It Out Loud, which, I had never seen him do live before. And it was just, it was kind of one of those, wow, that's really cool moments. So,
yeah,
good stuff.
that's so cool.
Title track, Heat Wave, very AC/DC guitarish, sort of like vibe to that one. And can you tell me a little bit about the title track, Heat Wave?
Heat wave. Well, sorry, I'm like I need to think about these songs now.
Yeah, with
What can
13
I tell you about?
tracks.
Well, the thing is, like the actual title, Heat Wave, I came up with when we were in Munich last year, and it was one of the hottest day in Europe. Like,
Mm,
and we had to play, and it was the first time we opened for Rose Tattoo.
okay.
So while at the airport, I wrote down the name Heatwave and some lines and blah blah, and then we obviously wrote the song together, and uh, I don't know. I guess it's just a interesting way of um, explaining the band. I guess.
Hmm.
I mean, it's if you see us live, it's a lot of energy, and it's definitely, I wouldn't say shocking, but it is. People get like surprised how high energy the shows are, and
Mm,
yeah. So I
yeah,
think Heatwave fits that very well, and it was the perfect title for the album.
yeah, yeah. Very cool. Next song I made a note on was Sleep. And I read in some of your bio stuff and researching, you were a big Prince fan. Your sister had a No Doubt album. Gwen Stefani was a big influence on you, among others. Spice Girls, which, hey, everybody liked the Spice Girls in the 90s. I
You've
don't
done
care.
your
They were great.
research. I like that.
Um, so with Sleep, I found your vocal, and I wanted to bring up those artists because I thought your vocal sounded a little bit like Shakira on that song.
Oh, really? Wow, I've never heard that one.
To my
That's
ear,
interesting.
to my ear. But I love the track, kind of an acoustic bass, almost sort of like a little bit of a country twinge to that song. Again, to my
Yeah.
ear.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Mm.
Um, how
No,
about?
I would say that definitely the country thing. I do listen. I've been listening quite a lot to. I mean, not a lot, but I listen to all kinds of music. And
Mhm,
as of last year, I started like finding a lot of country that I enjoy. So I think that the influence of that came through in that song.
mhm,
And it's interesting that you say because I've listened a lot to. I mean, '90s rock and. I kind of felt more like an Alanis Morissette vibe there, but
okay,
it wasn't intentional. It just came out that way when we sang it. It was supposed to be
sure.
a very heartfelt and it's a breakup song. I mean, it's a sad song. But yeah, I guess I do have a lot of different influences. Prince being one of the main ones, but I don't know. It's so hard to narrow it down, but I think that that song is very country, and it's interesting that you say the Shakira thing. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, you just sort of the way you enunciated, sort of the cadence and stuff. Like I said, to my ear, but I could get the Alanis Morissette, and we could throw in a dash of Carrie Underwood there as well. Uh,
Yeah,
so.
that's awesome.
Driving in Style. I want a great tune, but I want to talk about the video. And you mentioned a couple minutes ago about things being fun, and that was the one thing I got from a lot of this, and particularly that video. That just looked like fun. Was that as fun to make as what it looked?
It was a lot of fun. I mean, we actually we did two videos in one day. So the next video that's coming out, I mean, it was all made in this during the same day. But we always we have so much fun together. And we enjoyed. It was fun to actually get to do all these like, I mean, honestly, I'm not. I don't usually ride bulls and stuff, and I'm actually pretty clumsy. And it was interesting that I got to do that because I am the one that falls off stage, and I'm just like a super clumsy person. But I got onto the bull, and I managed to do that, and it was fun. And all the girls did their cool like scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we had a blast, and we always like just before we go on stage, we're always very like adamant about it doesn't matter who's out there, if it's a big or small crowd, or if it's like someone super important in the crowd. We always do just want to go out there and have fun, and I really think that that came through in the video, and I hope that it does it that it comes through in the album as well. That we really enjoy what we do.
I got that, and I'm glad you brought that up because I got that. I'm like, this just sounds like, a band that's out there just having a good time, kicking ass, writing some great songs, and just laying it down. And it just, I tell you, I sat down late last night with a beer and a set of headphones and put that album on. I'm like, this is the way this album should be enjoyed.
That's awesome.
Mexico. This song just totally made me smile. I've got to ask, have you ever been to Mexico?
I haven't actually, but it's one of Filipa's favorite countries, so she was really like, "Oh, we should write some." Well, she actually wanted to write something about tequila, but then it turned out like we added Mexico to it, and yeah, it just fit the songwriting. I really, really want to go. I mean, we have a beer coming out from that's produced in Mexico soon, so
Nice.
I think that whenever we can travel again, Mexico is hopefully one of the spots that we'll get to play at.
Cool.
But I mean, I love Mexican culture and food.
Nice. And tequila.
And tequila. No, I honestly, it's so funny. I had to like when we were writing the song, I had to do so much research on different tequilas because I honestly don't like tequila. I'm more of a vodka person.
Okay, sure.
But the girls really like tequila, so yeah.
It
We
isn't
wrote
a
it and it came out really cool, and it's nice also to like show off that I'm like that I can speak Spanish, that you can hear that in the song, and it's
yeah.
just yeah.
That's nice, and it's cool to hear, the research that goes behind the song as well. You didn't just sit down and do it; you actually researched it. So that's very cool. A lot of people probably don't realize that sometimes research goes into songwriting.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's important because it would be very strange to just make up tequila brands.
Yeah, that's true. Purple Sky. I loved the wah wah. This song had a sort of a slightly different vibe, I thought, than the rest of the songs on the album. And I loved your vocal as well on this one. I don't really have anybody to compare it to, but I just love the way you sang this track. I thought it was really cool.
Thank you. And I mean, eventually maybe I'll just have a very distinct voice, so you won't have to compare me with anyone.
There you go. It'll be you, your voice.
But thank you. That's actually one of my favorite songs too. I think we really managed to write something really like, really strong lyrics and the melody and everything. Like it's just very true to ourselves and heartfelt and all that stuff. Yeah, I love that song.
That one
and
was
to show off that we're more than we can do so much more than just 3-chord rock and roll. Like basic rock and roll, which we love and we want to do forever and ever. But sometimes it's nice to break it off and maybe do something more I think that song is more for the people that are musicians. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
really into like. That sounds so pretentious, but I hope that you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little more depth to it, and I'm not saying any of the other stuff is shallow, but this song, I agree, went a little bit. I guess depth would be the word I would use.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one was my favorite track as well until I got to the last track. And I always give albums my last track test. I say, are they working as hard on the last song as they were the first? And Bad Habits was a killer tune. It was my favorite track on the album. And I've got to ask you, what is your bad habit?
That is a funny question. Everyone keeps asking. I think we mentioned them in the song, and now
Yeah.
no, but for real, I don't know. I
Yeah.
like ginger guys. No, that's not a bad habit. No. I don't know. I mean, I do like to party. I think that maybe we party more than average people do, but I think we still have it under control.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to think about this one because I can give you like a super crazy answer, but I need to like. People shouldn't think that I need to go, or none of us need to go to rehab or anything like that
Right,
anytime soon. But I mean, I do have a very like severe cola zero addiction, but that's very okay, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about you a little bit. Your first band was in your teens. You formed. Obviously, you must have still been in school. I'm assuming this was like a cover band, or were you guys doing originals then as well?
We were actually. It was a combination. It was like it was actually an all girl band as well. And we did write some of our own songs, but no, I mean not like now.
Yeah.
I would say like my main like I actually got into songwriting way more when I went to MI.
Okay. That was going to be my next question. You went to MI out in LA, and you spent 4.5 years over here in the States. What was that like?
I loved it. I mean, I if it wasn't for the visa, I would never have moved back.
Really?
I found my place on earth in Los Angeles. I thought that. I mean, it took me like a year to get into the whole thing because I moved from a very very small town here in Sweden. But once I did, I really enjoyed my time in that in LA. I really liked it, and but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I came back, and then this is how, like, I guess the silver lining of the whole thing of me having to move back to Sweden is that once I did move back to Sweden, everything that I worked really hard for in LA kind of happened in Sweden. So I'm still very happy and still hoping that eventually the music will take me back there.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be excellent. And I also read you sort of knew before you joined Thundermother, you knew some of the ladies in Thundermother from various bands that you were in?
Yeah, I got to know. I mean, we changed bass player last year.
Okay.
But Sarah and Filippa, Filippa is the founder of the band, but Sarah and me started in Thundermother at the same time.
Okay.
So that was like 3 years ago. I had met them through my old band because we opened for their other band, and they had like a blues band, and my old band was more like a Led Zeppelin type rock blues band.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got to know each other, and you stay in contact, and yeah. And then whenever I was having issues with my band, and Thundermother were having their issues at the same time, and it was just, I feel like it was kind of just destiny that we, that this happened, and now we've been in the same band for 3 years.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm gonna try your name here, but I'm gonna have to do my dumb American pronunciation of it. We are chatting with Guernica Mancini.
Yes, that's fine.
Lead vocalist for Thundermother. New album Heatwave coming out July 31st on AFM Records. I've heard an advanced copy of it. It's awesome. We've talked about a few of the tracks here. I always like to wind up my interviews with just some fun, silly questions. I'm hoping these are questions you haven't been asked before. Does it sound good?
Yes.
Late at night and you're hungry, what do you grab for a midnight snack?
Depends what I have at home. Uh, well, a midnight snack.
Yeah.
I guess I would just have to tell you what I have right now. I have these like it's corn kind of thing.
Okay.
Corn. It's kind of like popcornish.
Okay. Favorite toy growing up as a child?
Um, I had this like black teddy bear that was really cute.
Okay.
But I don't remember the name of it. But whatever. Yeah, I'll say that.
Okay. If you could pick a television show to have a Thundermother song placed in, what TV show would you pick?
Sons of Anarchy.
What is something outside of music that you're good at? You know, like
Nothing. No.
nothing. Like, are you a good gardener or are you a good scuba diver or something like that? You know.
I'm. What am I good at? This is such a hard question. God. I'm a good friend.
Okay, that counts. That counts. What's your favorite smell?
My favorite smell.
Yes.
I really like vanilla.
Okay. Would you rather be stranded on a desert island alone or with someone who never stopped talking?
Alone.
Alone? Okay.
I'll just talk to myself. Like, I do that all the time.
Okay. What is a day off from music like for you, or a day where you don't do anything with music, or do you have those days?
I do have those days, but it doesn't count because I'm always listening to music.
Yeah.
So, and a day off, like I listen to a ton of podcasts, and I love to. I constantly have something. I'm listening to something constantly. So I enjoy listening to music, and now during Corona, I've been really taking long walks in the woods, and watching Netflix shows, and cooking, and
Sure.
normal stuff.
What are you currently binge watching on Netflix?
This is kind of embarrassing, but I got really hooked on this really cheesy show called Sweet Magnolias.
Okay.
It's this country show. It's oh my god, it's nice. It's
Sure.
fun.
Hey, we all have to have our vices, what we like, and it is what it is. Last one, and this is the one we have the most fun with. If they were to make a movie of your life, what actress would you have portray you in the movie?
Oh my god. I guess it would be someone really young and attractive.
Sure.
Who would I guess I need to pick from the ones that are like active now.
Okay.
God, who would play me? I would really, who I would think would be awesome to play me?
Tell me.
It would be if it was Amber Heard, but if she colored her hair dark brown like mine. That would be awesome.
Very cool. Very cool. Last one, just to get us back to music. Say a young person comes up to you, a young lady, a young man, and says, "When I grow up, I really want to front a band." What to you what advice would you give them to send them on their way to make them a good front person for a band?
What would I give them? What advice? Well, I would tell them to just really work on their craft and become as comfortable and as good as possible, and then also to I don't know, because I've learned so many things along the way. God, this is tough. But I would tell them to just be true to themselves and just to be themselves, and not care so much about if this isn't cool or stuff like that. Like, if you think it's cool, then go ahead and do it. And also the importance of performance. Like, you want to capture the audience. You want to look people in the eyes, and yeah.
Very good.
Some stuff there, yeah.
Very cool. The new album is Heatwave. The band is Thundermother. The album's coming out July 31st on AFM. We have been talking to their lead singer, Guernica Mancini. Why don't you say it one more time? I'd love to hear you say it.
Guernica.
There you go. Good luck going forward. Hopefully this whole virus thing ends and you guys can get out there and start touring and kicking ass and make your way over here to the States. And I would love to meet you someday.
All the same.
All right.
I hope so too. Thank you.
Take care. Enjoy the rest of your interviews today.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.